What's up, ladies and gents? This is Casey Kid, coming at you with another Destiny video. Finally, after running through some strikes and various missions just around Destiny in general, I'm ready to give my review on the Sleeper Simulant, the exotic fusion rifle that came out just this past week. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and smack that like button and subscribe to the channel. Now, I have a lot of thoughts about this gun, things that are good, things that are bad about it. The community has a lot of thoughts about it in general too, and it doesn't even come into question about the fact that we all have this gun right now. The fact that we all did quests this week, and we've got the Sleeper Simulant on a time lock quest. I don't even think we're going to get into that aspect of the gun. So I'm just going to set things back to normal right here. It is a solar weapon, it's a heavy weapon, and it has maximum impact, all kinds of impact. The basic barrels are CQB or smooth ballistics, and even though I was running with the CQB ballistics, smooth might be better for the extra range. I have a real question about what stability does on this gun, and we'll get to that in just a second. For the first perk node, we have hip fire, so the gun's more accurate whenever you're firing from the hip. Nothing really to write home about there. You've got speed reload and then custom optics. And what I want to do is zoom in right here so you can get an idea of that. Check out that column that's on the left. It pretty much fills up my entire screen whenever I have custom optics on. Whenever I take it off and just put back on speed reload, as I zoom in, you can see that that column is still way far away compared to what it was with custom optics. So you definitely get a higher zoom rate whenever you decide to roll with custom optics. The third perk is injection mold, which gives you a nice little boost to stability, especially when in conjunction with CQB ballistics. Now, Bungie's mentioned before in multiple trees that stack on top of each other. The first one is typically a minimal boost, second one is a minimal or medium-sized boost, and the third one gives you the biggest benefit, but potentially at the cost of a little bit of a trade-off. So why does Bungie feel like stability is good for the simulant? It only shoots one laser. I don't get it. But the final perk here is that it allows that laser to bounce up to 5 times. And the trick with the Sleeper Simulant is that it can bounce off of hard surfaces. So your walls and your ceilings and everything like that. So that 5 times boost means you'll see the gun bounce a little bit. But do you really? Is that really useful? Here I'm just trying to bounce it and see if I can hit enemies and see if I can hit this knight that's over there. And you definitely can do some fun stuff. As I go and aim down the sight here, I kill the knight instantly. Now, I don't know if there's actually a massive hitbox with this gun or if it actually bounces off the wall so fast. If you rewind it just a little bit, you can actually see that the laser is bouncing off the wall back towards me. So it's almost instantaneous, that enemy dying and the laser coming back towards the screen. So the gun fires extremely quick, almost like it's hit scanning. But are you ever actually going to be killing anything with those ricocheted laser beams? I don't think you are. I think it's kind of a wasted perk. It really doesn't help out with your mobbing or anything. In fact, I find like all the perks on the gun are actually not very good. I think what makes this gun good is it being the Sleeper Simulant straight out of the box. The fact that it has massive damage and the fact that it can critical hit. That's what makes this gun awesome. And it can do that right out of the gate. Any enemy that has a critical hit spot and you need to deal massive burst damage to it, this gun is absolute killer. Nothing else can even come close to dealing out the damage this gun has. It's really, really fun for stuff like that, especially on a mission like this where you have to kill enemies from really far away. Ranged burst damage on critical hit spots, nothing's even close. Not even the Yalahorn could come and do what the Simulant can do on enemies like that. Now, you're definitely going to be deciding when to not use this gun. And that's kind of a little bit of what I feel about it. I feel like balance is the key word to this gun, because there's a lot of really good stuff to it, but it's not like the Yalahorn where you're always going to want to run this gun. You're just not. For instance, if you're facing the flares on their strike, you'd rather run an exotic sword than the Sleeper Simulant. You just would rather do that. The enemies are too small, they move around too quick. You're much better off using this on big, slow enemies where you can really line up and get that critical hit shot. So I think the problem is, Bungie kind of touted, or at least the community felt, like the Simulant was going to be Yalahorn Mark II. And it's not. It's just simply not. It's not your go-to gun. It's not the gun that you're going to be running with all the time in PvE. It's just not. Now, You could make the gun like that. What if the simulant fired off 3 lasers? Maybe they didn't bounce around 5 times, but again, I mentioned bouncing around lasers doesn't really seem like it does all that much anyway. It's kind of useless. What if it fired off 3 lasers? How awesome would that be? Really awesome. What if the one laser, whenever it hit its target, it did an explosion that helped to deal out damage to enemies that were around it, helped to make this gun a little bit better whenever mobbing? That would be awesome too. Because another thing people are having a problem with is the fact that it only has 7 bullets. Now I kind of understand why that's the case. It's so strong. If you were going up against enemies like this with 20 reserve ammo or something like that, like a normal fusion rifle or even a sniper rifle, you would absolutely be melting things. It really wouldn't be very fair. You'd be breaking the game again, kind of turning it into what Destiny Year 1 was like. But at the same time, because you have to be so accurate with this, and it's really not any good on mobs or anything like that, it kind of leaves you wanting just a little bit. You're like, ah, man. So I keep coming back to the word balance. Balance. Bungie's balanced this gun to where it's not something you're always going to be wanting to run. But in specific cases, it's going to be easily one of your best options. It's basically like, hey, sometimes you're going to want to run an exotic sword. Maybe you're going to want to run the Sleeper Simulant. Maybe you'll really enjoy running your exotic primary. This gun just isn't the end-all, be-all of Destiny anymore, and I think people really wanted that to be the case. Anyway, I'll leave your comments about the simulant below. If you enjoyed this video, smack that like button and subscribe to the channel to keep updated on daily Destiny content. Check out these awesome videos. Good luck with your raids, your drops, the simulant, and I'll see you around in Destiny. Balance.